Has anyone checked out the Hamilton Gardens? They are absolutely stunning. If you're into botanical gardens, these really give you that vibe of being in a true garden, like a Japanese garden or the Italian Renaissance garden, for instance. You can take in the beautiful design and layout and feel that calming peace you get in a real Japanese garden. Or the structured geometric layouts, terraces, and a strong axis from the villa that makes you feel like you're in Italy without leaving the country. Yes, we are going to visit the Hamilton Gardens. But before we dive into this adventure, don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe using the buttons below. Trust me, it'll keep you in the loop for all my future videos, and it really helps me convince my dogs that I'm a big deal. Thanks a million for your support. Welcome back to another episode of Always Live Loud. This time, we're checking out Hamilton Gardens, which is an awesome spot to explore. If you're ever in New Zealand, definitely make sure to add this place to your must-visit list. You won't regret it. So, where's Hamilton Gardens? Hamilton is a cool city in the Waikato region on New Zealand's North Island, right along the Waikato River. It's about an hour and a half southeast of Auckland. The city has 18 themed gardens, such as Japanese, Indian charbagh, and Italian Renaissance, to name a few. Plus, there are plenty of parklands that delve into different cultures and the history of garden design. The entrance takes you into the Cloud Court, a chill spot in Hamilton Gardens, New Zealand. It's known for its simple vibe and relaxing water feature. This area is the starting point for a bunch of different gardens, so you can pick where to head next. We decided to go left and kick things off with the Paradise Garden Collection.
Let's go to the Paradise.
We see statues of the ancient Egyptian gods Sobek and Horus. Sobek represents the Nile's fertility, power, and protection, and Horus is the god of life. This area is like the heart of a bunch of individual gardens that explore the history of ornamental garden design. The 4 beautiful gardens mentioned in the Quran inspired the Charbagh Gardens. They look like desert oases, where precious water helps colorful flowers bloom and keeps the air cool. Our Charbagh is based on a riverside garden from northern India during the Mughal Empire, creating a peaceful escape from the heat and hustle of a busy 17th century city. Japanese Garden of Contemplation. This garden is designed with traditional Japanese vibes, intended to encourage quiet time and self-reflection, kind of like what you find in Zen Buddhism. The rocks and minimal plants in the scroll garden create a feeling of wide-open spaces, like oceans, mountains, and forests. It's a spot that really invites you to take a step back and think deeply, free from distractions. Let's check out the English Flower Garden. This garden is an excellent example of an English garden of a golden afternoon, and it takes us back to before the First World War. It really captures the feel of the arts and crafts movement, which valued handmade artistry and craftsmanship, especially at a time when machines were starting to take over our landscapes. The walls and hedges are carefully built to create separate areas within the garden, showing off seasonal flowers and climbing roses that make the place look fantastic. This design helps us connect with nature and appreciate the beauty of both the natural world and the garden's crafted elements.
Yeah, well, you just have a walk around.
The next one is the Modernist Garden. This one totally brings California to mind, chill backyards with cool sculptures and refreshing pools where you can lounge around on floaties. Just picture yourself strolling along the poolside of this garden, soaking up the sun, and enjoying outdoor living. This style got its start in sunny California and then spread across the Western world. Modernist gardens are all about practicality and blending with the house, featuring low-maintenance plants and areas perfect for hanging out or having friends over. Plus, they've got some vibes from the pop art movement thrown in there for extra inspiration. Chinese Scholar's Garden. This place has such a different vibe, almost like stepping back in time, and it feels like something exciting is about to happen. You come across a stunning red door, known as a moon gateway. It's not just a door, it sparks your curiosity and invites you to dive into a world filled with stories, imagination, and fun surprises just waiting to be discovered. When you enter the garden, you'll find a peaceful little landscape with still water that creates a nice yin and yang balance with the rest of the area. You can check out the Wisteria Bridge, which is beautiful in every season, visit the island of whispering birds, and discover hidden philosophers tucked away in the lush greenery. Bamboo is a big deal in traditional Chinese garden design. It stands for flexibility, strength, and honesty. The rustling leaves add a nice touch and set the stage for some quiet reflection. Eventually, you arrive at the Ting Pavilion, a cozy gazebo that gives you some shade and a chill spot to think. This pavilion is a key part of these gardens, capturing the beauty of Chinese landscape art with its lively red, yellow, and green colors. The Italian Renaissance Garden. I really love this garden, it's definitely one of my favorites. Italian gardens are just fabulous. They're packed with ancient myths, hidden surprises, and cool geometric designs. As we stroll past the arched trellises on the right, you can spot the designer paying homage to the legends with statues of the famous Capitoline wolf and its twin brothers, Romulus and Remus. These guys were raised by a she-wolf after being left in a basket. The garden view is absolutely stunning, with so many charming details. It's really exciting to explore the world of Italian Renaissance gardens, which are full of fascinating history and amazing design. For the people who created these gardens, geometry was like a way to represent order and harmony in the universe. Water features were a big deal in Italian Renaissance gardens because they symbolized wealth, power, and a connection to nature. They served practical purposes like cooling the air, added nice sounds, and created a dramatic vibe to impress visitors with their incredible designs. The potted orange trees were a must-have for fancy Italian estates. They look beautiful, smell fantastic, and you can even use their fruit to make marmalade. These trees are a great way to bring that classic Renaissance feel to your garden. This building shows off classic architecture with graceful arches, creating a cozy outdoor courtyard inspired by the famous Medici family. In the end, we find ourselves in a cute little amphitheater inspired by stunning Italian villas. This spot is perfect for performances, some quiet reflection, and soaking in the views, especially of the famous Romeo and Juliet balcony. It's a lovely outdoor space for art and fun events. What do you think about this garden? Parapara Garden. The garden has a gate called Waharoa, and it isn't just a physical barrier, it symbolizes a portal that illustrates Ruarengi's battle with the Tahurangi mountain. It signifies the transition into a culturally important Maori food forest, marking the start of a journey through traditional Maori life. Te Parapara Garden showcases the traditional ways Maori have handled food production and storage, using local knowledge passed down over the years. This garden tells the story of how food crops were grown in the Waikato, from the time the Tainui Waka arrived to the 1840s, when European visitors noted large plantations. It captures the rich traditions and early history of Maori culture, the original people of New Zealand. You can see how the first Polynesian settlers used the wild plants they found and how they came up with new ways to grow tropical crops in a subtropical climate. The Time Court is a cool art installation that draws people in to check out the Fantasy Garden collection. It features a huge sundial and an old-school Greek solar calendar on the ground. Next is the Tudor Garden. This garden highlights the 16th century English nobility's enthusiasm for geometric patterns and symbolism. Even though it's a small garden, it has an elegant layout, with low, tightly trimmed box hedges that twist together in interesting patterns. Mythical creatures surround it and feature a beautiful stone pavilion that shows off Tudor craftsmanship. Check out the cool arched structure called the Shipbuilder's Arbor. It looks like the ribs of an upturned boat and gives a nod to the shipbuilding traditions from the Tudor era. And the statue looks like the faun, Mr. Tumnus of Narnia. As we approach Braithwaite Court, we are greeted by the captivating sight of the steampunk airship known as Saucy Sue. But it is officially named the Huddleston Airship, a remarkable embodiment of creativity that beautifully showcases the concept garden in the Fantasy collection. Mansfield Garden. The garden, inspired by Catherine Mansfield, a well-known New Zealand modernist writer, is a cool highlight at Hamilton Gardens. It captures the vibe of her popular short story, The Garden Party. Set in Wellington in the 1900s, the story shows a wealthy colonial family getting ready for a party surrounded by native bush. A Model T car from that time adds to the charming historical scene, often displayed by fans from the Waikato Veteran and Vintage Car Club. Picturesque garden. This garden stands out because it goes for a wilder look rather than a perfectly trimmed one. Inspired by romantic landscapes, you'll find tall grass and old, weathered structures that push against the typical, fancy designs. These gardens are all about engaging the senses, keeping a bit of that wild vibe while mixing in elements from fantasy and classic mythology. They capture the idea of a journey that challenges you and shows what you're really made of. Written by Mozart in 1791, just before he died, The Magic Flute is a captivating opera that follows a hero on his journey to find enlightenment and love. In the story, 3 symbolic doors act as gateways from the everyday world to a higher level of understanding, highlighting Masonic themes in the opera. These doors are beautifully decorated and watched over by figures, including statues that represent air, water, and fire, linking the physical world to the quest for greater insight. As a Mason, Mozart infused the work with Masonic symbols, which were also reflected in garden designs of the time, including lions, sphinxes, Palladian pavilions, and classical columns. Papageno, the bird catcher, is such an interesting character. He's part man, part bird, and carries a birdcage on his back. Picture him sitting on a throne, looking at the sunset, which has this cool symbol of 7 stars. Ancient Egyptian Garden. Another beautiful replica of what Egypt was many years ago. These walls represent Pharaoh's power. These murals depict beautifully pharaohs like Ramesses II hunting and Ramesses III triumphing over enemies, projecting the ruler's divine power and dominance. Every part of the temple court had its own meaning. The big walls on each side of the entrance looked like the 2 mountains on the horizon where the sun rises every day, symbolizing new beginnings. The garden represented Egypt, celebrating the annual harvest and the flooding of the Nile. At the end of the garden was the temple, which had a special inner sanctuary reserved for the highest priests. This is another garden I really enjoy. Imagine stepping into ancient Egypt and going back in time, like 4,000 years ago, sipping wine under gorgeous pergolas. You'd check out the hieroglyphics on the walls and the painted stars on the temple ceiling. Spend some time with the sacred plants and picture yourself getting through the underworld's challenges to reach the afterlife. For the ancient Egyptians, living on Earth was all about preparing for that big journey after death. We plopped down and soaked in all the serenity and beauty around us. The fish in the pond kept us company, giving us that classic "I'm just here for the vibe" energy as we entered a meditative state. Who knew fish could be such great Zen buddies? Surrealist Garden. This garden is one of the most iconic. When you walk through the tunnel entrance, you feel your perspective shift. It's like you're stepping into a whole new world where strange dreams come to life. As you wander past a netted area with a quirky fireplace, you'll come across some odd trees that make you feel really small. They look like they're swaying like they're alive. Everywhere you look, there are all sorts of weird sights, with unusual shapes and unexpected things scattered around. It's like everything has blown up to 5 times its normal size. And a lawn that curves up at the corners like a sheet of paper. This surreal vibe is often shown through strange shapes, quirky sculptures, and unusual forms. And last but not least, the tropical garden. One of the coolest things about the tropical garden is the vertical wall packed with 3,000 plants. This eye-catching display features gorgeous canna lilies, trendy New Zealand tree ferns, and the unique bird of paradise plant, each adding to the garden's charm. The living wall really adds to the lush vibe around the compound, making it feel like a little tropical escape. There's definitely some room for improvement in this garden and some of the others we've checked out, but overall, I think Hamilton Garden did a solid job. Don't you think? We're heading out now, and I hope you enjoyed the visit. This video got a bit long, and I only added some of the gardens. I couldn't cover the whole Hamilton Garden. We would be here for hours. I love all of it, but my favorites are the Ancient Egypt section, the Italian Renaissance, and the mystery picturesque garden. What about you? Which one did you prefer? You really have to check this place out for yourself. Take a whole day to wander around the gardens, have some fun, and kick back. Whether you're super into plants or want a chill spot to relax, Hamilton Gardens is a perfect place to hang out. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe for notifications. And give a thumbs up or share if you liked it, it really helps out the channel. See you on the next adventure.